Welcome to the Look Good, Move Well podcast.
Well, Satya, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
January 2nd, everybody. We're faking it big time because it's actually December 22nd when we're recording this, but you'll be listening to it
in the future.
Yeah. Back to the future.
Although I was thinking maybe we should record some of our podcasts live. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah.
We could take questions. Yeah. Maybe we'll try that in the new year.
Give us a thumbs up if you like that idea.
Yeah.
Wherever there's a thumb up
Wherever
option. Wherever you see a thumb option.
Or a heart option.
Double tap. What are your New Year's plans?
I mean, in general or like for the whole year?
Up to your interpretation.
I'm trying to hit that LGBT 30 to CAC ratio. That's my goal for the new year.
That's the nerdiest New Year resolution ever.
My business nerds, you know what's up.
Yeah. That's funny. I think we're going to actually celebrate the new year at home, but last year we did like the beach, so we're going to go to the beach on the weekend. Ooh. Like on tonight, January 2nd. We're going to go to the beach.
Nice.
Yeah. But no, New Year plan, New Year goal for me is to have less chaos.
I would love that too.
Less chaos.
I would love that too.
More chill, less chaos.
More chill, less chaos.
Lots more chill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been busy.
It's been busy. No big deal. I got no, but for real, like this weekend, the real weekend, not the January weekend. Joey turned 7. We had birthday celebrations.
Awesome.
Yeah. This is these last 4 days feel like what we've been talking about for the last month. Like, it's like holiday season's coming up. You're going to have like events. You're going to have like things that throw your schedule off. Like, I finally feel like it arrived for me.
You're in it.
Oh, I'm so in it.
Yeah.
Like Friday night, let's see, maybe it goes back to Thursday night. Like a friend of mine wanted to get together, go out to dinner. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds great. Of course, I'm like out later than normal, had a couple beers. Friday comes around, there's like the party for all of like Noah's friends, families up at Brewster's in Petaluma. And so we're out. Someone wants to do a fireball shot. I'm like, okay, like why not?
YOLO.
and YOLO. And Saturday rolls around. It's Joey's birthday. We got cake. We got all these things. Like and then Sunday, it was like, well, Annie and Corey had all this leftover food from their like family party. So we went over there for dinner 4 nights in a row. Like, I'm just feeling it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what did I do today? Woke up, got to the gym, didn't feel great about it, but I did my workout, got in a good lift, some good meals, hydrating with my favorite drink.
Yeah.
And then we're just back to it.
Well, perfect segue for today's conversation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was exactly where I was going with it.
Nice.
Segue in then, Satya.
All right. So I put together a new resource for everybody because I'm always thinking about how do we make this really simple to follow? How do we stop overcomplicating this whole stay lean year round, get lean, get your goals fitness-wise thing? And what I came up with was, I love a framework. So I came up
Who doesn't?
It just makes it easy to remember and easy to stick to. So I came up with a framework that I am calling the 3-60-10 framework. And what that means is that lifting 3 days a week, doing 60 minutes of cardio, spread however you want across a week, 60 total minutes at least for the week, and walking 10,000 steps a day, 3-60-10. That is a formula that a ton of our clients are following with amazing success. I'm following it fairly closely with amazing success. You're following it with good success. And so when people ask, oh gosh, like how do you look good and stay lean and feel good year round? How do you get back on track when your, entire new year has fallen into chaos? something like this can be very helpful. And so I thought today we could dig into a few pieces of this, why most people don't believe it can be this simple and what they're doing and what they can do instead, especially as you head into the new year, trying to get your fitness back on track to keep it super simple, and it takes less time than you might think.
I love that. Yeah. Who doesn't love a framework? Frameworks, simple ways of breaking down complex topics. So that's what we're really talking about here. And it's like the further I've gotten removed from this like competitive sport in training, it's so interesting because like, you know, people played sports growing up, competitive sports. I do not hear anybody say like, oh yeah, like I got to get back to what I was doing when I was like playing, you know, college football. It's like they just know that that was a season of their life and they don't do it anymore. Mm-hmm. Myself and a lot of people who maybe still listen to this podcast, like my sport was exercise. And so it's very confusing. It's like, what do you do when you exercise like for sport versus what do you do to exercise for life? Thankfully, I've done the full spectrum and I've not stayed married to the idea of exercising for sport and then thinking it's how you should do it for the rest of life. That is actually what the social media influencers want you to think. That if you want to stay in shape, you got to exercise like it's your sport and it's like your passion and hobby. It's like you don't have to. You can train for life, exercise for life, to get all the things that you want. And yeah, it takes a little bit of discipline, but it doesn't take, you know, professional levels of sports discipline to get 90+% of the results. Yeah. And so we're breaking it down. Like, what is the framework? 3-60-10. That's actually great. It's like, when you say it, I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. You know, I train Monday, Wednesday, Friday with weights, lift weights hard, and I push myself so much. And honestly, like I went from 5 days a week to 4 days a week of training about 2 years ago. This transition from 4 to 3 for me, like maybe 4 months ago, has like, it took me a little while to like adapt to it, but like I just feel really good doing it now. Now I'm like, my training intensity has gone up another like notch because I'm not like so sore and fatigued like from the 4th day. And I'm actually seeing myself get stronger in lifts that I haven't actually seen myself get stronger on in a little while. I'm like, oh, this is fun. Like I feel myself pushing to another gear. So 3 days a week of that. And then like this 60 minutes of cardio. It's like, how hard should that cardio be? How much zone 2 work should I be doing? Should I be doing this, that, and the other? Like, just get your, like, go and breathe hard for 60 minutes, doing something focused. And I checked that box yesterday, like did a 60-minute cardio session here at the gym with a buddy and was absolutely exhausted at the end of it. And it was great. Like, check that box. I didn't have to go and do cardio every day this week. I didn't go to 3 different boot camp classes to get my heart rate jacked up. Like, just the one day. And sometimes I break it up over 2. I do 30 minutes on a Tuesday and 30 minutes on a Saturday. Maybe I go for a 90-minute bike ride on the weekend and check the box plus a little bit of extra, you know, because that's what I like to do. And then every day I just pay attention to how much I'm moving. Like, what are your steps? What are your steps every day? And the 10K mark is, you know, it's what I like about that number is that you can't get there by accident for most people, but it's also not so far off that you know, are going to end up spending your entire day walking.
Like the guy who's like walking around the world.
Like the guy that's about to finish walking around the world.
Yeah. You don't have to be him. And yeah, so I want to touch on what most people think about how often they need to lift and how they need to approach lifting and what the difference is when you go to 3 days a week, and kind of hit those points on the other pieces of the framework as well.
Okay. Yeah. Well, what do you hear from people? What's the thing that people say, like, this is how much I have to lift and what? Yeah.
I hear people feeling real hesitant and it's so relatable because you were in the same boat yourself of going from 5 days a week to 4 to maybe 3. Because they feel like training is what keeps them in shape. It's what keeps them strong. And so if I train less, therefore I will be less strong and I will gain more weight. I think that's the fear. And so people feel like they have to have this maybe 4 or 5 day a week schedule. And if they don't do that, it's hardly worth doing anything. You may as well just give up because it's not going to work.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's important to maybe just name, like, where does that start from? Like, why do people get caught into that trap? And I think it boils down to like one main misconception, which is that exercise or like working out is, you know, whatever form of exercise you choose, the purpose of it is to go out and basically offset bad decisions.
Yeah.
Right. So like, and to break that a little further down, it's like I go out and I eat the wrong foods. I, drink a little bit too much. Like I'm consuming too many calories. And so I need to go burn off my calories with my exercise and my workouts. And so if your fundamental thought around exercise is I need to go burn calories and I need to do that 5 days a week to really burn the calories that I'm over consuming in the other areas that I'm not making the most mindful choices, then you're going to be like kind of doomed into this endless loop of this same process.
Right.
Where it's like the only way to combat lifestyle choices is to exercise more, do more exercise. And so that is like, trying to think of like a good analogy. I don't know can you think of a good analogy, but you're just like, you're trying to outpace lifestyle choices.
Yeah. Well, it's just misdirected because a lot of that stuff, is not how this works,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's misdirected. I'm trying to think of like an analogy of something else that's kind of like, like it's like maybe a financial one. It's like, you're trying to keep up with the Joneses and you're always trying to buy the expensive thing and the next thing. Mm-hmm. It's like, I got to go work more. I got to like get a promotion. It's like, you're just in this like, constant striving for like more earnings, more income, but then you're always spending as much as you're earning. And so you're actually never saving anything and you're always kind of broke.
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of what it's like when you're just like, well, I'm going to eat this way and I want to have my this and that, and I'm going to drink all these nights a week, and then so I just got to go and exercise a bunch. And usually people do it like ate poorly, drank a bunch, and then the next day I'm going to go and exercise a lot extra. It's like always this losing battle.
It's a losing battle for sure. Yeah. And so to successfully go from 5 or 4 days a week to 3 and make 3 effective, I think it's important to also highlight what you actually need to do in those sessions, because like you said, if someone is trying to use training to offset bad decisions, or they just feel like 5 is like the number they need to hit, well, are those workouts going to be the most effective? Probably not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, and so, the transition or the mindset shift is, okay, exercise or training is not for offsetting poor lifestyle choices. Like we're going to tackle that with the steps. We're also going to tackle that with learning, some fundamental principles around nutrition. But when it comes to training, you're actually trying to build, like you're investing into your, 401k, or you're investing into your, high yield savings account. Mm-hmm. If we're using the financial analogy.
Sure.
If you train well, if you train with the right mindset, then you're actually moving the balance in the right direction for your, health and metabolism, let's call it that way.
Exactly.
So it's like, well, when we train, we should be training to really accomplish, one of 3 things. You're either increasing your muscle mass, increasing your strength, or you're increasing, I guess, what we would call your VO2 max, like your maximal aerobic, output. And maximal aerobic output training is really, really hard. Mm-hmm. It's not doing boot campy stuff. It's not doing just like moderate cardio, unless you're doing like hours and hours and hours. Like lots and lots and lots of hours of that, it's like doing really hard intervals that make you want to stop and quit and feel like maybe throwing up kind of thing. So, which not a lot of people like to do and have the, the drive and the motivation to do. So that's why I really lean a lot into building muscle and strength. And why are those the things that you should focus on? Because training is really a tool to increase, physical traits of your body. When you increase muscle, you improve your metabolic, your metabolism, your metabolic rate. You improve how well you can use the fuel and the food that you're eating. Muscle mass, just as a measurement on your body, is this sort of like, it's now being termed like your health currency. It's like the more muscle you have, the healthier outcomes people have. Like they just measure this now. It's also this thing that after the age of really 40, it starts to decline more rapidly into your 50s and 60s. So the more you have of it early on, the better. So that's where muscle comes into play. Strength. Why is strength important? Like I'm talking about your absolute ability to lift maximal weights. So if you can lift 50 pounds right now, and that's the most you can lift, then you're probably going to have a pretty good quality of life, because there's not many things that you lift in a given day that are much more than 50 pounds. Like you could make that argument. Why would I ever need to lift more? It's like, well, because in 5 years or 10 years, if you don't have a system for trying to build more strength than that, then 50 pounds, your max lift, will turn into 45. Your strength will start to diminish with age. So having a system where you try and get stronger than your current needs is important, so that when strength diminishes over time, you have more capacity. The other thing is if you never have to lift anything more than 25 pounds, being able to lift 50 today is pretty good. Guess what? If you could lift 100 pounds, then everything in life gets a bit easier, because you're just operating at a much lower percentage of what you're physically capable of. And what we have found too is that people just think about strength as like how much weight you can lift, but the way we train is that strength is and strength through range of motion is another way that people can start to improve their mobility. And mobility is this basic proxy for if the more mobile you are, the fewer injuries, the fewer aches and pains, the fewer ailments that you're going to have. And just about everybody as they age, who doesn't have a training system like this, complains of aches and pains, things that they get injured doing that they used to never get injured doing. They wake up and they're like, man, it's just more stiff and I just don't bounce back as well. And in my experience as a professional in the fitness industry, what I have seen is that it's not your age, it's your joint and strength resilience that you have from proper mobility and strength training. So muscle, strength, and then I mentioned aerobic capacity, your top aerobic capacity. That is also something that does diminish over time as you age. So building up more aerobic capacity early on means that you're going to have it later in life. But most people's later years are more restricted and limited by their strength and muscle mass than I see people being restricted by their aerobic capacity. I can't actually get up out of the chair. I can't hike the mountain because I don't have the strength for it. I'm going to fall. Not my muscles are so great. I just want to be able to go faster up the mountain and my lungs are holding me back. It's that rarely is what I hear somebody saying at 60 or 70 years old. So anyway, that's why I'm okay, then your training should be really focused on muscle mass and strength. And that really will also build up a robust metabolism. It's where you burn your calories. So shifting out of the mindset of I'm here to just burn calories in the gym so that I can, offset my poor lifestyle choices. It's no, you go to the gym to get strong, to build better mobility and strength. And by doing that, you increase your ability to burn calories at rest. You increase your ability to use carbohydrates and protein and fat for energy and muscle building, and you increase your health outcomes at any age, regardless, with more muscle mass.
Yeah. And just to highlight, that transition from 4 or 5 days to 3, what needs to happen in those 3-day sessions is that you need to train very intensely. And you'll be able to do that because you're more recovered from not beating yourself up throughout the week. And you will be able to come in and apply functional bodybuilding principles, ideally, if you're in one of our programs, like tempo to build strong, healthy joints and more range of motion and mobility baked into your strength training, and hit, high levels of RPE, rate of perceived exertion, so that you can be guided to really learn how to push with intensity. Come in, hit that hard for an hour 3 times a week, and that's all you need as your baseline.
Yeah, I don't judge. It's not from a place of judgment that I evaluate how people train, but I get exposure to a lot of people and how they train. And time again, it's I don't see people executing one good technique, which is also control. Can you control an exercise through a full range of motion with your body in good positions? And when you do that, the muscles that you're trying to train get trained, and the joints that you're not trying to train don't get stressed. Number 2, once you have good technique, are you doing it through a very large range of motion or a complete range of motion relative to your current ability? So it's your shoulder can go that far. Why aren't you doing your push-ups that deep? Your shoulder can go that far. Why aren't you doing your dips that deep? Your hips can flex that much. Why aren't you going deeper in your squat? So people don't have adequate technique. They don't have adequate range of motion. So technique is control, in addition to, good motor control of how your body is, the shapes that your body is making when you're doing a particular exercise. We got range of motion. Once those 2 things are in place, how hard are people pushing themselves within their strength training? And are the last repetitions of your set, do they look like you are approaching 1 to 2, maybe 3 reps from what we would call failure, which is you cannot lift the weight anymore, right? People are well, why would I need to do that? It's well, because the evidence and the research shows us time and time again that it is when you get to that point of resistance training that you actually can affect the muscle size and your physiological strength adaptations. So if just more plain, more simply, pick up the 20-pound dumbbell and do 10 reps. All right. And then the 10th rep, looks exactly the same as the first rep. And then you stop and you're good, I just did 10 reps. A lot of people do this. And then I say, well, pick it right back up, do 10 more. They do 10 more. And then they put it down. Okay, pick it right back up, do 10 more. They do 10 more. And so really, aside from those momentary stops where it was 3 seconds of putting the dumbbell down, they did 30 reps, and they were capable of doing 30 reps and probably more than 30 reps, but they did 10 and then they called that their set.
Yeah.
That is fundamentally doing nothing for your muscle strength, the things that we're trying to change. It would only be if you were doing, 20 pounds, and by the time you got to number 7, you're starting to strain a little bit. Oh man, this is not, the dumbbell's not moving as fast. And then number 8, oh my gosh, it's moving even slower. I'm starting to feel like I can't lift it. And then number 9, you're halfway up and then you cannot lift it anymore and you put it down. And so that would be considered going to failure. You did the reps with the right technique, the right control, the right range of motion. And on the second to last rep that you were intending to do, the thing stopped and you couldn't lift it anymore. When you do that, and you do that every single time that you lift weights, that's when people get really strong. That's when people build muscle. That's when people burn body fat. That is how you train. And it's so many people telling me I need the right program. I need the right program to get stronger and to do the thing. And I'm no, you just need to train correctly. Train like a pro.
Yeah.
And that's how pros train. They do it right every time. There's no miss. There's no did I do that right? I'm no, you didn't do that right. Like, if you have to ask, then it's a no. Like, we know when it feels right, you know? And that takes time to learn. I'm not like suggesting that that's easy. But that's when 3 days a week can be very, very effective. And then people are like, well, I can't train like that, so I should definitely be training 5 days a week. I'm like, no, still no. Like, you should be doing that level, you should be trying every single time you come in to execute at that level. Mm-hmm. And overdoing it is only going to make it harder for you to actually hit those, descriptors well.
Absolutely. I want to move on to cardio because that's another area where people, I think, mistakenly feel like I should be doing a lot of cardio to burn all those calories. And so what do you mean 60 minutes of cardio or even less potentially is enough?
Well, that's what I meant by we're trying to, cardio training is not, I don't see it as this is to burn calories. This is to improve my aerobic fitness, my VO2 max, my cardiorespiratory threshold.
Yep.
So when you do cardio, make it purposeful. Come in, train really hard, really move the needle on something in your cardiovascular fitness. And then the other calorie burning mentality should apply to cardio as well. It's that's not what cardio is for. It's not just about burning calories. It's about actually improving your VO2 max. Just like strength training is about improving muscle and strength. It's not just about, burning calories.
Yeah.
You can burn calories much more effectively by increasing your total activity over the course of 2026. So rather than focus on how many good calorie burning cardio sessions can I get in this week, think, how can I go from being, moderately active to very active in 2026? And it doesn't happen in a cardio session. It happens every day, how much you move, and the best way to track that or to, estimate how much you're moving is through your total daily steps. So pick something that you can put on your body that tracks steps. It could be a pedometer that you clip onto your belt, or it could be your watch, or it could be your fitness device that you're wearing, your Oura ring, your Whoop strap.
I got my $12 Amazon pocket pedometer right
That's
here.
right.
Yeah.
Yep. And so you can have a number of different things that can help track that. And you can, most of these things, mine syncs to my phone. And I remember in the early days, looking, I was in 2019, my average daily steps were 9,000. And then in 2020, they went up to 14,000 a day or 13,000 a day. And in 2021, it was 14,000 a day. And I was what happened to my body in those 2 years is I had a dramatic shift to my body composition. Was it because I went on some crazy diet, or was it because I did something crazy with my cardio? Or no, it was just, I just moved. I started moving more. And yeah, most people are not going from 9,000 to 14,000. They're going from 5,000 to 8,000 a day, or 7,000 to 10,000 a day. And that, if you walk 3,000 more steps per day for 365 days, that will make a more dramatic impact on your weight, your fitness, your health than any of these other levers that we've even already talked about. It's that profound. And that's what all of the clients that we have tracking that, and we guide on how to get those numbers up higher, those averages up higher. That's what they report back to us.
Yeah, absolutely. And the nice thing about walking as your lever also is that it doesn't burn you out like a high intensity fitness class. It doesn't drain your energy. You can fit it into your day. You can break it up throughout your day. It can be very achievable when you just build, a couple thousand steps on average at a time. And you start to notice how you shift your daily routines and your rhythms so that, like you said, you're just increasing your activity in a way that feels very natural and very achievable for everybody.
Yeah. And bonus, if you have any aches or pains, just about anywhere in your body, walking tends to improve those aches and pains. You're like, I got a neck thing. I'm like, go walk more. I can almost guarantee it's going to feel better. But yeah, like walking, generating like full body blood flow. It's good for so many other, things that people might not value as much as weight loss, but they're still there, and
mood, stress.
Like, it's pouring rain outside, but like get outside and walk when it's not raining. It's like, that makes you feel better.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh.
Get an umbrella.
Yeah. Get an umbrella.
Yeah.
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 I need one of those umbrellas that just like straps to my body and like I don't have to like carry. Like, what about the ones that like
that
like,
beanie head thing?
Like the helmet, the helmet with a helmet with an umbrella attached to it.
Nice. Pair that with your 5-toe shoes.
Yeah.
5-finger shoes.
The five finger toe shoes.
You'll be looking real sharp.
Hey, 2026 is a year of being extra cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Any final thoughts on the 360-10 framework?
I mean, if we should have a 360-10 challenge, like who can knock out 360-10 for the next, how many of the 52 weeks this year?
Yeah. Well, I at least want to start with that, with one piece that'll be in our Persist program, the See Your Steps Challenge, because what you measure gets improved. So if you log your steps, we'll have some prizes available.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's have a great year, everybody, and look forward to lots of good stuff coming to you on the podcast in 2026.
Yeah. We'll see you next time. Happy New Year.